everyone. I'm always so excited to bring you wonderful guests on our channel here, Midlife Success. And today's guest is no exception. She is legit one of the most fascinating people that I know. Why is that? Because she has studied arts and history and things that go back culturally, millennia, like Mudra Yoga, for example. She studied the art of language. She is a polyglot, speaking multiple languages. She's just absolutely fascinating. Franca Borgia is one of these multi-hyphenate talented people where she has her creativity expressed through artistry. She designs wonderful symbols. She is also an author. We're going to get into some of this. And she has studied things that are really of great interest right now to the world, specifically around affirmations. And so here today we have Franca Borgia to talk to us about affirmations. Franca, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Laurel, for having me.
So as we get into this, what would you like the audience to know? Like just a little bit more background about you, because obviously there's only so much I can do as the outsider, and you're live from Venice today, so this is exciting. Give us a little more detail and color about your background and experience for our audience to better understand you and all of the tremendous knowledge you bring.
Well, I have done more than 40 relocations in this lifetime. Yes. And
I've done 20. That's enough.
Yes. So I have been traveling a lot, and I have studied arts in Russia, and I have lived in different countries in Europe. And now I have settled down in Venice, Italy, the city of my dreams.
All right, let's get into it and get people grounded in affirmations. As I said, they're experiencing maybe a bit of a renaissance, even we'll call it. Not that they ever really went out of style, but it's, I think, important to understand and give us kind of the groundwork in what are the core principles behind positive affirmations and how do they influence our mindset? Let's get the audience grounded in that.
So you said a very important thing. You said something about positive informations, and that is very true, because affirmations take our subconscious mind to a place where it can be receptive to the information that we consciously feed into it.
And I had really actually misspoke. I was intending to say positive affirmations, but it is all about that information and content that we surround ourselves with. So talk to us about how the subconscious is there and how, if we allow it, it can be filled with negative ideas and information versus how we have to proactively work to put positive thoughts into it. Talk to us a little bit about that.
So I have recently seen that some people are afraid of hammering too many affirmations into their mind, but you should never be afraid of hammering affirmations into your mind, because you have been hammering a lot of negative stuff into your subconscious mind for years, and you didn't even notice that you were doing it.
On that topic, you wonderfully gifted me a couple of affirmations, and you offered to do more. You were very generous, but in my mind and capacity, I really can't handle more. I talk about the two that you gave me about my book writing and where that will lead to success. Why is it that people like me and others don't feel that we have the capacity to take on more than a handful of affirmations? Why is that? But we can handle so much negativity coming in.
Well, because we are used to handling a lot of negativity. We have become accustomed to it. If we live in a city, and even if we don't live in a city, we may have internet connection, and we are overwhelmed on a daily basis by a lot of unrequested information that is dripping into our mind. and that causes some reaction that we are not consciously aware of, but that we experience.
And even I will look at the word even dripping into our minds. I see just it's a full frontal assault when I look at social media, or we go outside in the cities and all of the buses and cars and everything are covered with advertisements, and we're getting boom, 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 boom. They're being hammered into our heads. Buy this clothes, look good, wear this makeup, do this, do that, fix your hair this way. You need to shop to feel fabulous. There's all of these, I think, subconscious images that get put into our minds with the bombardment of advertisements we see that says, if you are not shopping and you are not buying these things or these brands, you are somehow less than. You are not worthy.
That's true. It's like not being a fully evolved human being of civilization.
And say a little bit more about that how if we're not fully evolved, it means that we haven't yet learned the art of being able to be more proactive or have a better ability to filter what is nonsense and to focus on what is important. Is that what you're saying? Are you going there?
It's a constant challenge. And we cannot even imagine what it's like to live in a peaceful, serene environment without being bombarded by impulses that are designed to control us.
I vividly remember, I don't remember which airport it was in because, like you, I had traveled a lot, not so much lately here, but just prior to COVID, I remember being at one of the carousels, one of the New York airports. Okay. And it was the first time that I saw advertisements on the carousel conveyor belt as all of the bags were coming through, and there was ad after ad after ad. I remember just spinning and thinking, oh, first of all, it's moving, which wasn't a good thing. And then all of these ads were coming by me and buy this and do that, drink this. It was so much. And it was in that moment where I consciously made the decision to tune out ads and to be immune to their effect. Like I, in effect, put up a filter because it was too much. I felt bombarded and accosted.
It's also a fact that people, they have lost sensitivity in their daily communication because they have to block out so many things, and it negatively affects them.
And taking that to my next question, really, that's a good segue, is that talk to us about the self-affirmation theory and how it is relevant to the whole, I guess, art of making affirmations effective and which change our lives, our attitude, our potential for success. Talk to us about the application of theory in this way.
Well, as I said in another video that is going to be on this channel, the act of affirmation is basically the act of affirming your level of consciousness. That means in everything you do and everything you say, you affirm your level of consciousness. And so you have to be very mindful of the words you use because they have a powerful influence on the path ahead of you, on your destiny.
I really like this because we hear a lot about mindfulness. Be in the moment. Don't be stuck in the past and regurgitating or just regenerating, right? Over and over again. All of these things that happened to us that were negative, replaying that narrative, it just drags us down. But you said really affirmations are that next level maybe of mindfulness.
Exactly. So you will become more and more mindful as a result of writing down your affirmations every day, because you will become more sensitive to their energy. You will see that they work in your life and that their effect becomes more and more obvious.
And that is just it. You start tuning out what is not good. And I remember, and I'll share with the audience, as I said, Franca has generously gifted me multiple affirmations. And one of them was around changing the mindset. I was looking for revenue opportunities and things. And I'm saying like, oh, please and please give me one. And I need this. And they're like, no, 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 no. Positive affirmation is not about I need, I want, give me. Positive affirmation is I have the gifts and the talent to be able to do this and to succeed in X, whatever X is. And X in my case was writing a book. And you really flipped things around for me and brought that from my subconscious, the nagging that goes on. You're not good enough. You'll never succeed. You'll never finish it. This stuff, right? To yes, I have the gifts and talent. And every day I'm telling myself from your affirmations to believe in myself that I can do it.
That's perfectly right. Because the fact is that every one of us has limitless potential, but our challenge and our opportunity is to choose which part of our limitless potential we decide on realizing in our life.
Is that, how do I phrase this? Is that I guess, the spiritual explanation or the spiritual companion to the act of coaching and goal setting and accountability? Or is that the kind of the match?
I say so.
Because that's what it's about, right? What we put our mind to, what we think we can do, right? Rather than, oh, the universe is infinite, so our potential is infinite. But if we focus, we can do X that we seek, right? Is this?
Exactly. And so the thing is, though, initially, everything is limitless, but I mean, the more it crystallizes into material form and concretely into who you are, the more deliberate you need to be in the way you process the energy you put out before you put it out.
Okay. Where I think this is going again is around elevating our subconscious, right, to that manifested reality. You talk about that in one of your books where you're decoding communication and meditation and kind of bringing it to the, to that forefront. Talk to us, because you are an author, you've published multiple books. Talk to us about how that manifestation into reality and through meditation and via affirmations, how do you incorporate this into your writing practice? Because I'm particularly interested in that as a fellow author.
Of course. So I have got into the habit of writing down affirmations every day before going about my day. And they all start with, I feel so happy and grateful now. And that is like a formula, an access code to your subconscious mind, because your subconscious mind is programmed to perpetuate your habitual behavior. And so most of your behavior is habitual. And what has become of your daily routine, it just slips through the filter of your conscious mind. And it creates the experiences, the results that you attract. And the moment you change your habitual thinking, you change what you attract and experience.
As I listen to you, because I've worked with a lot of coaches, I have represented lots of coaches, they're always talking about these are your goals. And you must form these new habits to be successful. We've heard it from all kinds of luminaries in whatever field they've been in, big business, investment banking, whatever. We've read the books. We've seen them on the New York Times bestseller lists. And they talk about you must change your habits. Do one thing different per day. That's it. Or do one thing and do it every day. And if you do it for 9 days in a row, it becomes a habit. And I think that maybe people who are having difficulty understanding or tapping into the spiritual aspect of affirmations, if they can get there and understand that goals are a part of this and approach, and that habits are really at the key to this. Everyone can understand a habit. It's so easy to pick up a bad habit, but it's
Yes.
so hard to break a bad habit and start a new habit.
Mhm.
Talk to us about, with your clients, what it takes to get them into the habit of using affirmations in their daily practice so that it becomes a habit and it changes their mindset and it improves not only their outcome, their likelihood of success, but it improves their outcome. Like they get a better success. Talk to us about those habits.
Well, the first thing is you need to have the desire to change. And when the desire is strong enough, you will make the committed decision to make that change gradually, because every profound change happens slowly over extended periods of time.
So I guess this relates to it. So with affirmations, and again, like habits, you have to do it, like they say, whatever it is, 9 days in a row for it to start becoming habit forming. Is there any parallel to affirmations where you have to do the same affirmation and repeat it X number of times until you start believing it, until you start seeing? Is there any either data that you know of or anecdotally through your clients that you can give us some guidelines on what to expect?
I think it's important to understand that our mind is also a metabolic function. And I spoke about the metabolism of the mind in one of my books, and we can maybe get to that in another podcast. But the point is that it is not very helpful for the metabolism of our mind when we keep repeating exactly the same affirmation without making it more digestible. So, for example, when somebody says, I am healthy, this is a valid affirmation, but it's a bit clunky. I mean, let's say you have a piece of fish and it's not cut and you just put it into your mouth and you try to swallow it. I mean, it's much more easy if you have it cut into small pieces, maybe with a bit of vegetables or potatoes or whatever. So also with affirmations, you need to make them more digestible. So that's why I add some seasoning and side dishes in form of relative clauses and additional, adjectives. So I can give you an example. I feel so happy and grateful now that I enjoy excellent health. Becomes, I feel so happy and grateful now that more and more with each new day, I realize that I always naturally enjoy excellent. Or I feel so happy and grateful now that truly each and every moment of each and every single day with each and every single breath I take, I absolutely love to notice that I always naturally enjoy excellent health.
So affirmations are at the discretion of the consumer. We can change them. We don't need to have them, I guess, embodied or dictated by an affirmation specialist, that if we go out of bounds or remember it differently or recite it differently, it's okay because it's on the same theme. So you're saying that's actually a good thing.
Yes. And I give a lot of examples for affirmations at the end of each of my books in my book series, FAQ Making You Think. Yes, that was the first book in the series, Placebo Paradigms. Yes, and so I give a lot of examples, and it can be helpful to just write down those affirmations because they have been mindfully crafted for your convenience.
Yes. And one of the things that I guess liked, because I'm a visual person, in the affirmations you gave me, they were via WhatsApp because You are in Venice, even though we met in New York City, you're in Venice and I'm here. And you not only added or enriched them with lots of adjectives, lots of color, but you did bring in color through emojis, hearts, flowers, plant growing, stars, glitter, bringing energy. I'm a glitter girl, so I was drawn to those. Talk to us about the importance of, I guess, that sort of enrichment around the affirmation. If we're thinking it, should we be thinking it in color, thinking it with imagery? Should we do this?
I choose to put those little icons in front of the affirmation on WhatsApp because it just makes it more easily recognizable. Not only for your conscious mind, but for your subconscious mind. It gets more easily absorbed because you recognize it. You just feel that this is something positive and constructive. And so no matter what follows, you already know that it is an affirmation that will boost your energy.
So I see that in the text form and sort of being in receipt of the affirmation. As we're thinking, should we be thinking in color? Should we be thinking with rich imagery around our affirmation, or will that have the tendency of distracting us, where we should think and focus on the words and feeling and absorbing the words?
Whatever is fit to enhance the feeling of the affirmation is useful. And if you write down your affirmations in a beautiful book, it will also make it a sacred moment of your mornings.
I do. You gave me that advice, so I transcribed them from my WhatsApp and on my phone, because we're all on our phones enough. And I put them in my beautiful book, which is, I don't have it handy, but it's a nice pink cover. I've shown it to you. It has a beautiful silk ribbon in where I'm reading, and then it has these wonderful and positive statements. I am good enough. I am worthy. Today is a great day. These kinds of things in and around it, affirmations in of themselves, on the covers of the book. And it's a nice, beautiful leather, pink leather book, but it's okay. It it sparked joy because it was bright and pink. And it does make a difference. And what I did is I doodled in and around the affirmations you gave me. So I drew flowers and pictures and vines and things like that in and around the text that I wrote. And I took my time to print it as beautifully as I could, so that I created a beautiful thing. And I could come to it, and, I'm not good about every day, but regularly. Okay. I'm on the path of a daily affirmation person, and I go to it and I see it. I have my beautiful book. I have my silk ribbon. I open to the affirmations that Franca has given me. They are written as nicely as I can. I know other people may have better penmanship, but it was my best. And there's doodles. And I'm like, so immediately I am greeted by this and like, I am happy and grateful now to be writing my book, to be doing my, and it goes on. And it's important.
A wonderful example how to make this a sacred moment.
Yes. And it is the first thing I do in the morning, which is before sunrise, before I take my, my little pupper, my little dog, out for a walk. And it grounds me. And then I go out onto our walk of the morning, and we have a beautiful neighborhood. We are surrounded by giant oak and elm trees, lots of maple trees too. Very peaceful, very quiet, very sleepy neighborhood. And the deer, the bunnies are all around us, the squirrels, lots of squirrels, especially this time of year, packing all the little nuts away. And we have the neighborhood to ourselves. And I use the time to just rehash the affirmation, say what I am grateful for. This is a wonderful day. And as soon as the sun greets me, I look to it and I pause and I hold my dog. We wait. It's like, this is my turn. You pause and smell every blade of grass. You are going to wait for me now. I get my 1 minute in the sun. And I welcome the sun and welcome the day and say, I am grateful for this. Today, this will be a good day because. And so I'm doing my best to incorporate affirmations, and I've seen the change. I am much more positive and resilient despite the weight of the things that have been happening to me.
Yes, indeed, because we can only attract and experience what we have prepared for and tuned into emotionally and also intellectually and practically.
What do you say and advise to those who are skeptical or they have some resistance starting an affirmation practice? How do you counsel your clients on this as you are getting them into the habit of forming new thought patterns using affirmations? How they say, I don't know, it's not really for me. Like, what do you say?
Well, I have a very straightforward approach. I explain to my clients that it's very important to write down affirmations because it's a practical discipline that facilitates a more focused mindset. And so it eliminates friction. Because when you don't do your affirmations, you might get distracted much more easily than when you have done your affirmations, because your primary focus right from the start of the day is different. You are more receptive to the positive things that are surrounding you and less distractible by those that are not conducive to your very best effort.
I do see that personally because I think it goes hand in hand. In the morning, I don't keep my mobile phone in my bedroom. I leave it downstairs in the kitchen. I don't look at it until after I have completed our walk. So I have looked at my affirmations. I have gotten grounded in the mindset that today is going to be a new day. We walk, we embrace the neighborhood. I practice gratitude in what I am seeing. And when the sun rises, I am looking forward. I'd see, hope rises with every new dawn, right? As one of the Shakespearean plays, I'm not sure which one, maybe Othello. And that it just sets me into the right tone. So then when I come home, we've walked, we've done all of our things and all of this, then I can look at my phone and you can see the hundreds of emails and those chats, and I'm ready for it versus it ruining my day from the beginning.
Yes. No, because there are so many different options and possibilities at the beginning of each day, how the day can evolve. And you should intentionally tune into those that are most positive and uplifting for you.
In what ways can affirmations be integrated into our daily routines to really maximize the impact, Franca? How do we maximize? Because everything is like, how do I 10x this? How do I do this? Right? Especially American culture. It's all, how do I next level, right?
Of course. So, the easiest practice for the beginning is to start writing down affirmations every morning into a very beautiful book that is intended solely for your affirmations. And Bob Proctor also spoke about affirmations, but he did not speak about them as extensively as I do. And he suggested that you should write 5 affirmations about something that you already enjoy in your life, and 5 affirmations about something that you would like to see manifested in your life further ahead. But I think that you should be more creative and more flexible about your affirmations. You should not necessarily repeat all the time the same affirmations every day. No, you should be very susceptible to, your intuition, and just feel, what do you want to accomplish on this day, and what do you find most challenging? And then you should write an affirmation and turning this around into something that feels like a triumph. For example, if you are concerned about getting to the airport in time, you could write down, I feel so happy and grateful now that my timing for whatever I do is always perfect. And I have tried and tested this affirmation for a number of years. And I can say from my experience that it works perfectly.
I will have to try that because I have missed many, many flights. Not and not because I've even cut it so close, but when you try to drive here in the morning into New York City to JF Kennedy or LaGuardia airports, what is a maybe 25, 30 kilometer ride will be 4 hours.
Hmm.
And then some flights were missed because our president at the time had a visit. And so everything was just shut down, right? For miles everywhere. I couldn't get around. It didn't factor in. And so, but I will have to try that one because it would be nice. So as we're wrapping up our podcast here, Franca, what would you like to close our podcast with for our audience to hear regarding affirmations?
Well, I would like to quote Florence Scovel Shinn, who famously said, "Your word is your wand." And I would like you to bear in mind that whatever you say is your state of consciousness affirmed.
So with that, thank you very much, Franca Borgia. You can find her online. You can find her art installations in numerous hotels and wonderful places, art galleries. She's a juried artist. You can find her books on Amazon. Please take a look. And you can also find her here on our channel, Midlife Success, where we'll be having new and future shows with her. Stay tuned. Thank you so much, Franca, for being part of our show today.
Thank you, Laura Lynn.